Good morning, Bookers. Coming live from you all straight from the Broadmoor. We just got to having breakfast with a young lady. She told me to give her a shout out, Erica Billups. And she actually inspired me to get on here and talk about the story I'm about to share with you guys. And the story I'm about to share with you guys was the story from about, I don't know, let's say I guess about 7 months ago, something like that. 7 months, 6, 7 months ago, when my wife and myself, we decided we was going to get a divorce, that we ain't want to be with each other no more. We was just done with each other. And so I just thought back as I was talking to Erica. She was saying that she was going through a divorce. She works in a business, the same business that we work in. And she was saying she was going through a divorce and things are tough, and she had to go get a part-time job, and all these reasons as to why she had to go get a part-time job. A lot of us centered around her going through a divorce, and it took me back to 6 months ago when Kiana and I decided that we didn't want to be with each other no more, and some of the things that transpired. And so I remember like it was yesterday. We were sitting in front of our beauty salon, Critique Designs. We had a party Saturday, y'all. Saturday from 9 to 1, free everything. Y'all need to stop by. Saturday from 9 to 1, 10849 West Florissant. And come and see your boy Run Daisy and Kiana. So anyway, we sitting out in front of the salon, and we talking about, we just didn't want to do this no more. She was tired of me. I was tired of her. We was going to go on about our business. And as we sat in the truck and we said, hey, you know what? If we're going to get a divorce, let's be civil. We got kids. We got businesses. We said, well, let's just sit down and just talk about how this all going to work out. Meaning from a business aspect. We didn't talk about why we should stay together. We love each other. None of that conversation was being had. We was done with each other. And so all we talked about, we said, okay, well, listen. We done with each other. We both came to that conclusion, but let's not impact everybody's life that's around us because we just decided we don't want to be together no more. Let's not do that. So I said, let's have a conversation. And we took out a piece of paper, we drew a line down the middle of it, and we talked about how the business was going to go, how we was going to divide the business. And she go her way and I go my way, but we didn't want to compromise and jeopardize everybody else's future because we was tripping. Let's not destroy our businesses. Let's not tear each other's name down. Let's not do none of that because there's kids, there's family members, there's moms and everything that we plan on retiring one day. And just because we decided we don't like each other no more, we're going to forfeit all that. We're going to mess up that for everybody. No, we got to figure out a way how we can work together, be divorced, go our separate ways, know at some point we're going to get remarried to somebody else, but sustain what we promised the people that's dependent on us and keep that thing going. And when we got through having that conversation, we wrote everything down and we had it mapped out to a T how we was going to continue those businesses on an individual basis, but still reach that common goal and forget about everything else. And see, by the time the night had reached us, God had changed our heart. And I start thinking back to Jesus when he was on the cross. And Jesus on the cross, and the same very people that he was dying for, he pierced them in the side and he wanted to quit and he wanted to give up. He didn't want to go further. He looked up to heaven. He told his father, he said, listen, if there's any other way, he said, if there's any other way, God, remove this cup from my head. In other words, let somebody else do this. It got to be a better way than me getting on this cross and dying for everybody. Said, it got to be a different way that we can save the earth. He said, but nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. Nevertheless, not my will. In other words, so he went through trials, he went through hardship, and it didn't even feel good to Jesus going through the persecution and the tribulations. But he was focused on why he was put here on earth in the first place. And I think that's one of the biggest keys to our success is that in spite of what we go through, see, people think our life just been rosy, and it ain't rosy now. We got a better marriage than we ever had, but our life ain't rosy. We got crap that's happening. If I get on here and tell you about all the crap that's going on in our life, you'll say, I feel sorry for them. But we don't want nobody to feel sorry for us because we focus and we know why God put us on this earth, and it's to make an impact on people's life. It's to inspire people to go be great, but we got crap too. But when we go through our crap, we ain't giving up, quitting, letting go of what he put us on earth for, and it's to make a change for people, to give people inspiration that whatever in life they want to fight to go have and go do, they can go do it. So even when all that was going through, we said to each other, listen, with the plan and the will of God for us to prosper and to go take a lot of people along that journey with us and to go teach them how to go do the same thing. And so even if we want to get off track and not do that together, the purpose of our life was to inspire and to be change agents for people in their life and teach them the art and science of business and inspire them that greatness is upon their life. So even when we was going through our crap, we was just like Jesus, and we said we was focused that we was going to complete his mission and complete his will. And God has the heart of the king. in his hand, and he can turn it any way he want to turn it. We were done with each other. We was at the top of our lungs screaming, finished. But by the end of that day, it was nevertheless. And we wasn't playing, we wasn't threatening, talking. We were done. At the end of that day, we said, nevertheless, not our will, but let your will be done in our life. And when we came to that conclusion, things changed. Things just started to happen. And I started to realize that every promise of God is conditional. See, he said, if my people. See, you heard the word if before all of the promises of God. Said, if you are willing and obedient, you'll eat the good of the land. He said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves. See, a lot of us full with pride. We full with pride. We want to do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it because we grown. He said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways. He said, then I will hear from heaven. Then I will forgive their sin. Then I will heal their land. Some of y'all land need to be healed right now, but you ain't turned. You ain't turned. You ain't turned away and walked in the purpose that he had for your life. You still trying to do things your way, and you still wonder why crap ain't going right for you. Because it ain't nevertheless. You ain't got to the point in your life where you say, nevertheless, not my will, but let yours be done. We have to get to that point. And we have to get past the naysayers. We have to get past the haters. We have to get past the strike. Listen, Jesus had haters. Haters make you greater. Without haters in your life, without distractions in your life, without tribulations in your life, you ain't going to go as far as you need to go. Listen, Pharaoh was appointed to Jesus' life. Pharaoh and his army sought to kill Jesus, but it pushed him towards his purpose. He came to die. But see, dying don't always feel good. And some of us got to die. We got to die to our bad habits. We got to die to some of those friendships and relationships. You got to die to it. And Jesus, at some point, didn't want to die. He, the Lord and Savior of the world. He said, but he got feelings. He said, not a man that can't be touched with the feelings of our infirmity because he's been through it. Pharaoh chased Jesus down all of his life to kill him. Pharaoh was his hater. Pharaoh was the one to kill him while he was in a manger as a baby because he knew the purpose that was designed for Jesus' life. You got pharaohs in your life. You got people coming against you. You got people persecuting you. You got family members that don't even believe in you no more. You got your friends that's talking about you crazy, you stupid from doing this or doing that. Pharaoh is necessary in your life. He pushed you to your purpose. How else would Jesus got on the cross but for Pharaoh? And when he got on the cross, the same ones that was pressing him in his side, the same ones that was talking about his behind his back, the same ones that's backbiting and say, you crazy, those are the ones he died for. My question to you, Facebook, who you dying for? Because see, who you dying for should be the ones you living for. You pay the price, you go through it, you stick it out. Everybody got to die. If you don't die, you can't live, baby. If you don't die, you can't live. You got to come to the point of death in yourself. And you got to be willing to put it all on the line to fulfill what he put you on earth to do. And he ain't never told us it was going to be easy. He ain't never promised us it was going to be easy. He said, many are the afflictions. He said, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but God shall deliver us from all of them. See, you got to remind yourself of what he promised. And you got to talk to yourself about what he promised you while you're walking through the storm. You think we're going to tiptoe through the tulips? No, baby, this fairy tale land behind us. It's a price that got to be paid. It's some sacrifices that's going to have to go. It's some people's feelings that's going to be hurt. It's going to be some relationships severed. And it's going to be some painful and some sleepless and some crying nights, baby. But you better get to the point where you're saying, nevertheless, 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 not my will, but let your will be done in my life. So I've been through the fire, right? I've been through the flood. He said, I've been broken into pieces, seen lightning flash from above. He said, but through it all, I remembered that God loved me and he cared, and he'll never put more on me than I can bear. Holla at your boy Ron Neesey.